Yo guys, I'm Yellow, a Norwegian hardcore PC gamer, and today I figured that we should take a look at sections in CS and the importance of exploring them and getting better at them. Not just about what you can do in certain areas, but also how they should be played. And that is aside from all the technical, smaller details that I will try and get through, in which, first thing first, I think I should try and make this flashbang work. Yeah, this flashbang right here, either it's amazing or it's kind of terrible, because, yeah, as you saw there, it actually bounced too far through, but it's pretty cheeky and people won't expect it. But anyways, yeah, sectional awareness, which is what I'm going to label this video, which can be, you know, put into dirty words, I guess, but who cares, really? It's a thing, rather, that you should focus on the more you play Counter-Strike. Now, how I got better at playing a particular section on a map, it essentially came from just playing that area a lot and seeing what all the players did, and finally figuring out whether or not I want to be defensive or aggressive, and when I want to peek, for example, you know, based on timings of what the opponents might do. Maybe they will chuck a smoke grenade right here, and then maybe one here, and then they will flash in the last second, and then they're now going to bolt through that entire smoke field. You know, how you're going to be able to deal with these things. It will take some time before you will realize what their plan is, but along with that, eventually you'll be able to get a better approach of how you want to deal with these opponents as well. Whether or not you want to go for a wild spray, or if you want to be able to just go for some pop shots, then look for a reply of what the opponent do, and then go for more shots. Regardless, though, this requires you to be able to play with cover well. You will have good control of your character, naturally, and that is aside from just being able to pre-aim well, and also aside from being able to literally dodge potential nades, flashbangs, and so on. Along with this, obviously, preferably, you would like to call information or hold multiple spots at the same time, depending on how many teammates you got left alive. So, as you might understand, just holding down one small section of Counter-Strike on a map when it is truly needed can be really difficult, which is why I want to put emphasis on it to begin with, because if you're able to get better at any of these things, you'll just become a better player in general. So now let's branch out to alternate ways of playing sections, and then I'll cover passive, aggressive, and defensive ways, because, you know, that just makes it a little bit more chronological. So this right here is like, I guess you could say, a passive way of holding, but you can take the aggressive peek as well, even though, again, it's not expected. It can still work, and believe me, in some scenarios it will. Pro players just, you know, tapping somebody in the head, then maybe retreating, waiting for a flashbang, maybe initially waiting for a flashbang, then peeking, even though, again, you never know when it all peaks and suddenly you're dead. But yeah, the point though is that you can make up so many things as you go along. But the point with this position though is that it's kind of random, people won't expect it, and to get up there alone you need to make some crazy KC jump on this little balcony party right here, or you can get boosted up right here, which I would thoroughly recommend. But yeah, the point is that this area will be unexpected. You will be able to hold down the area well. You can even see pretty far across over smoke grenades that might be tossed down here in the middle section, and from there on out it's all about how much you want to, you know, try and play this area and be good at it, because it's kind of odd, but if you're able to get like at least one or maybe two kills, you are worth your weight in gold, and it's all upon your teammates to be able to make a play. Now this other position right here I was not able to get onto pretty well, but you can actually get boosted on top of this this frame around the door. This has not been patched for a very long time. I believe a couple of pro players figured it out, and then Anders was able to relay that it existed. But this is actually a pretty nice position as well, because people won't expect it, and if they make the initial proper peek out here instead of just, you know, jiggle peeking like this all the time, they might literally get dinged from your position instantaneously, you know, because they're not going to look up there, you know. It's just not going to be somewhere where the crosshair will be, and thus they will have to, you know, drag this far up, while you can just aim down there and just tap them in the head, you know. So being able to take such a more aggressive positions can be really good, even though, again, it also requires a boost, and as you see, it's kind of difficult to stick on top of this little frame. Now, aside from this, I figured I should mention that you can play any areas aggressively and defensively. You know, you can pre-aim every single corner, you can fish for information with your knife, you can, you know, just be in their face all the time and jump around the bullets that will, you know, hit the wall behind you if you're ever so lucky to live throughout all those bullets. But I would not really recommend this, especially on a map like Inferno, in which is based upon defense, because yeah, obviously if they get the entry pick, now suddenly you're gonna get screwed, which is why you need to make it so that if you're ever going to make any aggressive play, you gotta make sure that you got a nice opportunity. That could, for example, be a good CT spawn in which you then can run down here, you can aim scope down right here and do whatever the pros do. Not that I would ever be able to replicate it all the time, because I'm not that good with a sniper, but you get the point. All right, you should not necessarily be aggressive all the the time unless you have a proper plan. Now, in terms of being defensive, you might want to, you know, just play the backside right here, stand with this really solid cover. As you can see, you can just barely shoot through it, if not at all, in some cases. But yeah, taking a defensive position will allow you to get, you know, further back, hurdle down maybe in the pit section, take a little cheek angle, whatever you feel like. And yeah, essentially it's all about being able to make the most out of yourself and being able to explore the area that you're playing on. And by the way, before we are done with this video, I want to recommend to anybody that focus and truly care about getting better at CS to not just focus on one spot. Focus on one spot on each site, and then you should focus on a secondary spot on each site. That would mean, yeah, 4 spots you have to learn, but believe me, eventually you're gonna find people that don't want to play short, they don't want to play long, they don't want to play closer to the sandbags here on Banana, for example, you know, in which, by the way, you can't shoot through most of this. Like, this metal here is fake, so this position is kind of risky if you ever want to peek it, because, like, yeah, this is not actually solid metal. But anyways, yeah, you probably get my point. Being versatile is always going to make more out of yourself, so yeah, keep practicing and hopefully you'll get even better than you were before. Hopefully you people enjoy this video. If you want to support me, we got the Patreon page. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. All links in the description below. And if you want to be really awesome and support the channel, I also got t-shirts, all links in the description below. Anyways, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.